most dignified move, Mr. Golden, especially when there are formal channels like Parliament or a direct communication with the minister or the Prime Minister. That's like settling a score instead of addressing the issue. Mr. Golden was not addressing the issue. He's there settling a score. It's almost embarrassing to think of the opposition leader behaving like this. Now, let's go to Miss Rochester's appointment. Associations don't define competence. Your association does not define your competence, Mr. Golden. If that were so, you could not be leader of the opposition, because who are you associated with? I'm just asking. If Miss Rochester got the skills and the Public Service Commission appointed her, that is the end of the matter. Mrs. Rochester wasn't appointed by the minister. Mr. Golden's concerns about her past roles may be valid, but not in this setting, because you frame it, Mr. Golden, as an attack, and that attack smacks of political gamesmanship. That is what is wrong with it. Not only that, because the hypocrisy angle is very strong here. If you are questioning her ties to the Prime Minister, what about your own past role as an advisor to the late Finance Minister? And how did you become oh boy. Let's
welcome to the heart of your home.
Let's take a break here and
this is not
and now the real kicker here is the Public Service Commission's role in the appointment. It is the Public Service Commission that appointed Miss Rochester, not the Prime Minister, not the Minister. They are the ones that does the appointment. And so if Mr. Golden has concrete evidence of impropriety, he should bring it to the Parliament. Is the leader of the opposition suggesting impropriety on the part of the Public Service Commission in Mrs. Rochester's appointment? Then bring it to Parliament. Until then, Miss Rochester deserves the chance to prove herself. It is not right, Mr. Golden, for you to come on social media and cast aspersions about this woman's fitness for the job because of her association with the Prime Minister. That is not right. Now, on to Mrs. Holness, the Prime Minister's wife. Listen to the leader of the opposition.
Of course, there's a broader question of the wife of the head of government, wife of the Prime Minister, being appointed the umpire of the affairs of Parliament, the legislature, as Speaker of the House. Again, how can that be right? The tradition in our system of government is that the Speaker is an independent person. Even if they come from one side or the other, they are supposed to act impartially and independently to ensure even-handedness and fairness in the conduct of parliamentary affairs. How can it be right that the wife of the head of government, the Prime Minister's wife, is the umpire in Parliament in the form of the Speaker? We objected to this strongly when the decision was announced that she was going to be reappointed Speaker after the last election. Despite our objections, the appointment went ahead. Again, it doesn't look right. It isn't really consistent with the way in which the Westminster system of democracy, which is what we adhere to, ought to function. The last point I want to address is this JPS 150.
All right, so before the last point, Golding is mixing up facts with fiction. You know, I
Listeners, please tap the screen and share the live.
Mr. Golding is mixing up facts with fiction. And you know, listeners, I want to be fair to Mr. Golding as the leader of the opposition, but having listened to Mr. Golding today, I can't help but wonder what is happening to Mark. What is happening to Mark? Let's be clear. Andrew Holness did not appoint his wife as Speaker of the House. He did not. Juliet Holness is the Member of Parliament for East Rural St. Andrew. That's who was appointed the Speaker. The Prime Minister's wife is not the Speaker of the House, Mr. Golding. That's disingenuous, and you know better. The distinction between the MP for East Rural and the Prime Minister's wife must be made. Nigel Clark made that distinction. And Mr. Golding, you need to stop it, sir. let's listen to Mr.
When the former speaker was forced to
Let's listen to Mr. Clark as he addressed this matter. This is the third time I'm going to address it on the program.
So that the head of parliament is now the spouse of the head of government really does not sit well with the tradition that the speaker must act independently of the government of the day.
Let me tell you this. And this is why I cannot be happy with the party's activism talking about the Jamaica Labour Party. Mr. Dobney said it. I wonder if I could find Mr. Dobney. The party is not very active, you know. And I don't want to get into no argument with nobody, but I can tell you that this Labour Party here is struggling with
President Trump's decision
with public relations. The PNP is been allowed to get away with a lot of things. A lot of things. Hello neighbor. Let's go to Hello Neighbor and see if we can find what's my, come on, let's go. Hey, Mr. Dobney. Okay. Let's
give this government back to a reckless PNP. We cannot
say that the party must win a fourth term.
We must win a fourth and a fifth if we continue to give the type of service that we are giving to Jamaican people. The PNP has not demonstrated that capacity. I remember the 60s when Jamaica was a pearl of the Caribbean. The 70s when the country was wrecked by the PNP, rescued in the 1980s by Edward Siaga and the Jamaica Labour Party. And yes, we lost it in 89, but then comes Goose Golding, rescued it again. Hand over and a brief stint by the PNP again, and here we come with Andrew Holness. What a wonderful gift to Jamaica. We cannot squander it. And I'm going to say, if they do, my children and children will hold the Jamaica Labour Party accountable if we allow this country to go right back into the hands of a reckless PNP.
You hear that? The Labour Party is not doing enough. They're not doing enough. You Labour rights, you're not doing enough. And you have, you know, some of you have taken this for granted, you know. You've taken this for granted. Your nice suit and your tie and your nice shirt and your nice AC office and your all of the perks. Remember how you got there. Don't ever forget. And I don't like that you're allowing the PNP to get away with these things. This poshness and this correctness, political correctness. I don't want to call any names, but I see some of you trying to explain stuff in your jacket and your who you reach. Who you think you're reaching? It's not working out at all. It's not working. Not working out at all. Nigel Clark addressed this matter, and I come back to it.
The speaker is intended to be independent and must act independently of the government today. That is the tradition. That is the tradition. The failure. That is the tradition.
No. When Mr. Golding attacked the speaker in 2024, the Prime Minister, Andrew Michael Holness, walked out of the Parliament telling Mr. Golding that he was low. Low. Yes? And the party supported him and went out also. Why are you allowing Mr. Golding to attack the Prime Minister's wife? Who is defending the Prime Minister and his wife? All of you there, you know, you're in your positions because of Andrew Holness. All of you, some of you wouldn't have won no seat if it was for Andrew Holness. And you had this man campaigning 3 o'clock, 2:30. To place you guys where you are today. You are to come out and defend the Prime Minister and his wife. Don't leave it to me. Because I am not a JP blogger. I am not a GLP blogger. They didn't give me any arm. They didn't give me any arm.
Oh gosh. I can't believe me high.
They didn't give me any they didn't give me any recognition.
Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting. Oh gosh. I can't believe me high.
Yes, sir.
Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting. Oh gosh. I can't believe me high. Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting. Oh gosh. I can't.
No. I'm joking there, sir, but it's true. I didn't get any award. I understand that. I understand that they called my name and that created a problem. Okay. Anyway, that enough on that. Were I a member of the party, I would tell them in Parliament tomorrow, I'm not sitting with this man that continues to disrespect the speaker like this. Not sitting with him. Not sitting with him. Right? Every Labour Party MP tomorrow should go into Parliament and protest this attack on the speaker as being the wife of the Prime Minister. That is rubbish. You can't have the leader of the opposition constantly attacking the Prime Minister's wife, calling up the Prime Minister's wife name, right? And you sit there like what? Because it is disinformation, you know. To say the Prime Minister's wife is the Speaker of the House is incorrect. Because that is not true. I'm going to get back to Mr. Dobney, because I think Dobney is listen to Dobney again. I tell you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Dobney. Let me play it, so and then I'll get it back to I don't have that. I don't have it. I don't have Mr. Dobney. Okay. All right. Let's let's see if we can get this one. No. Okay, yeah, okay. Give a message to them, sir. What would you say?
I would say, let us endeavor to give value to 63 bases. Let us endeavor to give value to every councillor, caretaker, and all, because it represents the groundswell of the political process and indeed the continuity of the growing strength of the party. Give value, find the ways and means through a party structure and through a governmental structure. There are people at the party level and there are people at the governmental level. Find a way to build those capacities, build out, and ensure that all of us feel a sense of ambassadorship to the party and to the process, because the processes of government can only be advanced at the local level, the community level, in order to give buoyancy to the legislative level, and that is where central government lies. We must endeavor to do that. If we do that in building those capacities, we are going to be a government extraordinaire. We cannot squander the fortunes of the Jamaica Labour Party by paying scant regard to the local level politics. Because if we do that, we may run the risk of fixing this country and giving it back to a reckless PNP. And I would blame the entire government.
You see that? I'd blame them too. I would blame them too. And I'm giving out this word again to you. I don't need no damn recognition. I don't need no recognition. I don't need no certificate. I don't need no nothing. But the party is not doing enough to support its leader. You are not. And it's time that you examine yourself. Don't let I have to get back, because I will say more, you know. But it is okay. Anyway, let us listen to Mr. Nigel Clark. Mr. Nigel Clark, as he rubbished Mark, and Mark Golding come back with it. Listen to Mr. Clark.
The failure. Mr. Speaker. Members.
Prime Minister walked out of the parliament at the time when his wife was drawn into this. Yeah? Hurt. The man was hurt. And the opposition leader. And the same thing you did on the stage, man. The debate stage. Attacking the man's wife. Leave Mrs. Holness. No. Chop. Here's Mr. Clark.
Madam Speaker, when the leader of the opposition made his contribution to the budget debate, he included the words, when the former speaker was forced to resign as a result of the Integrity Commission investigation, the move to replace her with the wife of the Prime Minister, so that the head of Parliament is now the spouse of the head of government, does not sit well with the tradition that the speaker must act independently of the government of the day. Madam Speaker, as others have pointed out, we on this side, and there are others on the outside who thought that that was low.
Did any member of the government came out today in support of Mrs. Holness, as Mr. Clark did? Did any member of the government supported the Prime Minister's wife today when the leader of the opposition attacked her again? Did any member of the government came out in support? Well, I haven't heard it. Where is the support as Mr. Clark did when he closed the budget debate. You guys are not playing good politics, You're playing good politics at all. That's what Mr. Dobney said, giving them wiggle room. The PNP has gotten too much wiggle room. Yes. The Jamaica Labour has not isolated themselves against the reckless PNP, quoting Mr. Dobney. Okay? Go ahead, Mr. Clark.
Firstly, Madam Speaker, the Speaker of the House served as Deputy Speaker of the House for 3 years, between September 2020 and November 2023. And during that time, she acted as Speaker on several occasions. So it was the Deputy Speaker who was elected to replace the outgoing Speaker, not simply the wife.
That irks me. The wife. You don't understand how serious this matter is in Jamaica. She's not simply the wife of the Prime Minister. Mr. Golding, stop that, sir. Don't belittle the lady to being a wife. Just a wife? Well, it's a honorable thing to be the wife of the Prime Minister. I'm not saying that is not. But you are suggesting that she is in her position as Speaker simply because she is the wife of the Prime Minister. And that is unfair. She's an elected member of Parliament, for Christ's sake. Duly elected by the people of East Rural St. Andrew. They did not elect the wife of the Prime Minister, did they? The society needs to advance, We have to grow up, people. We have to grow up meritocracy. This has to be a society where there is meritocracy, where people get into position by virtue of their qualifications. It's the same thing to be said about Miss Rochester. Is Miss Rochester the permanent secretary because she knows the Prime Minister? That's something that the Public Service Commission considered? I don't think so. If someone is appointed on merit, then you judge the person's record. What are the rulings of Mrs. Holness? That is what we want to judge Mrs. Holness on. Not whether she's the wife of the Prime Minister. The opposition leader is divisive. Let's hear a little bit more from
the fact that in the statement or the speech you refer to her as the wife, not recognizing her 3-year tenure as Deputy Speaker and therefore the natural successor, is, in my view, disrespectful to the highest degree.
Absolutely. And the opposition leader has done it again. Again today. Why? I tell you, I've seen these attacks on Mrs. Holness. A lady of class, that woman Holness is a class act, Brilliant woman, fantastic member of Parliament too. But time is on us. Let's finish with Mr. Clark because I have much more to say.
Madam Speaker, women like men are individuals in their own right who ought not to be defined by their relationship with either men or, in the case of when you do this, you subordinate the professional role of the woman or the man. Wife, mother, sister are roles that women sometimes play, much like men are sometimes husbands, brothers, and fathers. But in a professional setting, it does not sit well with the tradition of respect within our society that has been that for you to refer to any female parliamentary colleague by her marital relationship with her husband.
You hear intelligence? You hear a man that is bright? You hear a man that is logical? You hear a man that is reasonable? Bring back Nigel Clark. Bring him back to Jamaica. We need him. We need back Mr. Clark. Whatever we need to do to get back this man in Jamaica, if he come back. This is a Jamaican, a son of the soil. We need back Mr. Clark in this place, man. I want you to join the call back. Mr. Clark, I beg you, sir. Come back to Jamaica. Do I beg you, sir? Come back. We need you in the politics. We need you back in the politics, man. Right? The PNP is getting away with too much. Couldn't do it with Mr. Clark. We need back Mr. Clark in Jamaica. Mr. Nigel Clark. My God, man, let us go into fasting and prayer. Get Mr. Clark back. Yes? Fast and pray, Jamaica. Make Mr. Clark come back. If Mr. Clark was here, PNP would be quiet. They would be quiet because Mr. Clark would have put them in a damn place long time. Okay? Now Andrew is left almost fighting by himself. Who is standing up for the Prime Minister? Which of them? Which of the current people in the Parliament standing up strongly on behalf of the member? I tell you now, you are in your positions because of him. And many people online and in media do what they do because of Andrew Holness. Because of Andrew Holness is the reason why a lot of people do what they do. Don't ever forget that. Complete your thoughts, Mr. Clark.
By all means, talk about the Speaker's decisions, criticize them if you must, but leave the wife alone. It was out of order, Madam Speaker, and the opposition leader can do better. It reminds me of when the member from East Portland, campaigning in her own right, was derogatorily referred to as the wife of Mr. Vaz. And she won't be anything but the wife of Minister Vaz. There's a trend. Of course she's the wife of Minister Vaz. But in the context of the campaign, she was the Jamaica Labour Party candidate for the seat.
You hear brilliance? You hear a man that understands the issues. You hear a man that can articulate it. You hear a man that can rebut. You hear a man that can silence the nonsense that the PNP comes with. We need it in Jamaica. We need it in the Jamaica Labour Party. We need someone to stand up, not only the Prime Minister. We need someone to tell Mr. Golding that, Golding, you're talking rubbish, and prove it. Sure.
It would have been better had the opposition leader said the move to replace her with the Deputy Speaker of the House, who happens to be the wife of the Prime Minister, etc., etc., etc. But completely ignoring her position in this House, Madam Speaker, was absolutely and reducing her to only one component, that of wife, was disrespectful, Madam Speaker, and should not be repeated.
And should not be repeated. That's what Mr. Clark left, and Mr. Golding today repeated it. Hear him.
Is an independent person of the wife of the head of government, wife of in the civil service. It doesn't look right to me, and I'm bringing it to your attention. Of course, there's a broader question of the wife of the head of government, wife of the Prime Minister, being appointed the umpire of the affairs of Parliament. the legislature as Speaker of the House.
So there, Mr. Golding didn't learn anything. He came back with it again. Yeah? Listeners, I don't need to add anything to what Nigel said. I think Nigel did it all. But let's break it down. Juliet Holness is the Speaker of the House, not the Prime Minister's wife. Do you understand that? She's a separately elected MP for East Rural St. Andrew and was appointed Speaker based on her qualification and role in Parliament. The Prime Minister's wife isn't even in the equation here. That is not in the equation. Mr. Golding is mixing up the facts. And he's doing so deliberately to stir controversy. Because if he has concerns about the appointment, he should raise them appropriately in Parliament with the evidence that her rulings as an umpire, quote unquote, are unfair. Put it out, let the public judge that. But to go on social media to tell Jamaica that she is the wife of the Prime Minister suggests to the listeners that was why she was appointed. And that is problematic. Accuracy matters because the claim about Prime Minister's wife being Speaker is false. That's a false claim because Mrs. Holness is a distinct individual, elected MP and appointed Speaker. It is because she is an MP why she's elected the Speaker. Because you cannot take the Speaker from outside. The Speaker must be an MP. It's not because she's the Prime Minister's wife why she's appointed the Speaker. It is because she's a member of Parliament. And if the opposition leader is unable to make that distinction, then maybe he should not be the opposition leader. Fact of the matter is that he is mixing up the facts. And when you mix facts, you undermine your credibility. If you misrepresent the facts, then we have to question your scrutiny. Governance issues should be raised in Parliament, not on social media. The Speaker's independence is crucial. And so if the opposition leader questions Mrs. Holness's appointment, he should do so factually and formally. Because we can't have transparency via trial in media. We don't get transparency through media trial. Let me give you one more point. One more point. Listen back to Mr. Golding.
Again, how Westminster system of democracy. This is my sympathies for anyone who is still without electricity. We had raised the question, though, because the minister came to Parliament in December and said that the funding required to restore the grid was $350 million at least. And yet the amount of money that the government was going to provide was $150 million. Now, remember, the government's a 20% shareholder in JPS. The other 80% is owned by two overseas companies, Marubeni of Japan, East West Power of South Korea. They weren't putting any money up for the restoration because the minister had given a notice earlier in 2025 saying that their license was coming to an end and wouldn't be renewed in 2027. So they didn't have any security that they would still be in charge of Jamaica's electricity grid come 2027, and they weren't going to put up any money without any security. So the government was putting up money far beyond its 20%, but still at least $200 million less than the minister told us was needed to fix the grid. We asked him, how is it a good idea to put some funding in without knowing how the necessary amount would be reached and obtained? He never answered that question. I asked him again on Tuesday. Again, he dodged the question. And I'm saying a matter as fundamental as this, where government's resources, which is really the proceeds of the catastrophe bond, 150 million, has been lent to company JPS that Jamaica owns 20% of.
Did you hear that? The suggestion is that the government took the catastrophe bond and lent it to JPS. I don't want to misquote Mr. Golding. I want to make sure I hear him. Listen to it carefully.
Never answered that question. I asked him again on Tuesday. Again, he dodged the question. And I'm saying a matter as fundamental as this, where government's resources, which is really the proceeds of the catastrophe bond, 150.
Okay, the government resources, the proceeds of the catastrophe bond, 150 million,
50 million has been lent to company JPS that Jamaica owns.
There you go. Is Mr. Harry in the box? Is Harry here? This is shocking. This is absolutely shocking, you know. I wonder if the government can clear this up for us. Did the government take the catastrophe bond and lend it to the JPS? And that's what Mr. Golding just said.
Oh no.